Hello everyone, wanted to bring you some second gen content. Today I'm working on a 2002 Dodge Ram 2500 series with the inline Cummins. And earlier last week I started on this truck and I started replacing the upper dash and slowly metastasized to the lower and the HVAC box. So when I put everything back together, I made sure that all the wiring was connected. I double and triple checked everything to make sure that all the wires were connected properly. And I decided to take out the truck for a test drive to make sure everything was working adequately. And one thing I noticed was as soon as I turned on the truck and I put it in reverse, the overdrive off light came on. Initially, I didn't know why it was on. I automatically thought it was a transmission problem, but I thought to myself, this truck has been working properly. The transmission never had any issues shifting or anything. There was nothing wrong with this transmission. So I looked online. I looked at a couple of videos, and there was a gentleman that he was talking about the switch that goes on here. He was saying that the switch can go bad. And there was another gentleman that I had mentioned was talking about the wiring that goes from here all the way down to there, to that connection right there. So from that connection all the way back up to here is the overdrive wiring. Okay, now it's like this because I pull the wires out, but initially down here I noticed that this line had a lot of slack. This line, you can actually, if you're not careful, you can actually pull it too much and it'll start bringing down these two connectors. And if you pull it too much, it'll disconnect itself from this switch. These aren't very pretty tiny little connectors that with a hard jolt that you pull, it'll disconnect them from this switch. So what had happened is that down in there, let's see if I can focus this. Okay, so down in there, those two connectors, they were touching each other, and that's what was causing that overdrive light to turn on. So let me show you. So the truck is on. Now I'm gonna put this in reverse and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So right now the light isn't on, but the moment I strike these together, it turns on. And if I strike them again, it turns off. So it was never the switch. It was not the connection. It was the fact that I pulled this line down too much, that as it from here it tapers down to a smaller diameter. So when these two wires got pulled and they went down towards the smaller diameter, they touched one another, and it caused that light to come on. So if I were to touch them again, it's like a switch, right? And then it goes off. So down there, they were touching each other, and they were like this, and that's what made the overdrive off light come on. So if you are in the process of putting everything back together and you run into an issue like this, knowing very well that the transmission was working perfectly, check this wiring, because that's what happened to me, and it should fix the problem if you run into that small little issue. And then from here, all you gotta do is connect it back here, and it'll start working again. So let me put this truck in park. Put this in here. So connect them. Alright, so there it is. Here's the overdrive switch connected. We'll turn on the truck again. Okay, so there it is. Put this in reverse. There it is. Off, on, off, on, off, on. So there you go. That was the entire problem. I pulled that line too much downwards, and it disconnected it from here. Well, hope that helps out somebody out there. Thank you for watching.